This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
She is the founder of Path to Wellness in Tulsa, and she is your path to wellness through many different modalities: acupuncture, massage, RN. She is. I could keep going on with what she offers. Gotten so much insight in so many different medical areas, challenges along the way. Today, I am not even sure what we're talking about. I'm told it's alpha gal. I'm not really sure. We're going to find out what that is from Teresa Wilkinson, who joins us once again on the program. How are you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic. I'm on
First,
my way to the clinic, so here I am in the car, and we're just gonna do it on the go.
well, as soon as I hear alpha gal, I think of alpha male, and I don't know if there's even a resemblance to alpha gal.
Uh,
If that's a
It'd have
woman.
to be alpha guy.
I guess you are right about that. Yes, if
Yeah,
we're gonna compare, it would have to be or alpha female, not alpha gal. If
yeah.
it's alpha male, what exactly is it?
Okay, believe it or not, it's known as a red meat disease, and it's
Ooh,
very, very common in the South, Midwest, and East, wherever there is ticks. So wherever you have a Lone Star tick.
yeah.
Um, okay, so uh, what it's an allergic reaction, and so this is the it's galatose A-1, comma 3 galatose, and that's the medical definition, and so they call it alpha gal for short, and it's caused by tick bites from ticks, especially the Lone Star, and it will react within 3 to 6 hours after eating.
Mm.
So, say you do eat a meat product, within 3 to 6 hours, you will respond, and that's when you have a clue that that you have something going on. But where we live, we have a lot of trees. A lot of people in the country on farms will have chickens, guineas, turkeys, different kinds of outdoor birds on purpose because they will eat the ticks. But
Wow.
we let our birds free range for that purpose. But the coyotes got them. And so now we have them confined to our backyard, which is an acre big. So they're not getting them everywhere. So the tick will carry this in its saliva. So then when it bites, it actually infuses and introduces this to your bloodstream. And I will say a lot of times in the summer, in the season where they're really predominant, our horses will get at least 20 uh, a day each. And then my husband, if he's working outdoors, he'll get at least 20 um, a day. So it's
Oof.
it's actually real common. So the thing is they can actually do a blood test, and it's anyway. The immune system creates what's called an IgE antibody, and then later, when you're after the exposure, for some reason, red meat is a big deal. And so I've talked to people about, well, just be a vegetarian. They go, but I want a burger. And I go, well, there's veggie burgers. And they go, no, but of course, this is more country people that have cattle. I just processed and butchered, a cow that we had on our property, and I was wanting to be able to eat the meat that we just produced, and I'm not able to. But this is what's weird is not only does it affect the ability of eating meat or meat products, but it will cause people to actually turn bright red, very inflamed, like hives, itching. But it also will have symptoms like a hot poker, like you've got somebody stabbing you with a hot poker all all over your body. Now, it's kind of when it occurs the most is what we've talked about before with restless leg or some of these different problems when we talked about statins affecting muscle spasms, leg cramps. It always happens at nighttime. And so I think we talked about before in the daytime when you're go, 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 make every minute count, we're in a sympathetic nervous system. But it's at nighttime when the sun goes down, we go into what's called the parasympathetic nervous system. That's when your body regenerates, renews, relaxes, your brain resets. But what happens is with people with these symptoms, it hits them at nighttime and they can't sleep. So it affects their ability to sleep. Plus, they're suffering with the hot poker deal. You can also have severe fatigue from it. Of course, if you can't sleep at night, you're going to be tired. There's also swelling of the lips, tongue, and throat. So it can be life threatening. So I've known a lot of people that have run to the emergency room several times. Um, and because they can't, they can't swallow, they can't breathe, and so they panic. And so I've had a husband of one of my friends that has had it, and she'll wake him up in the middle of the night all the time, and say we've got to go to the emergency room, and his response is like, "And what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? you, you have to go." But so this is what's interesting is they found that acupuncture is a very effective way of dealing with this.
Wow.
And it's very easy. And so even one treatment or two treatments can fix it. And so, but not everybody knows about it. So that's why I'm putting the word out there. But there are support groups on Facebook that I'm on, but and even on these support groups, they will show people getting acupuncture. But the key thing is it's auricular. So a lot of people, acupuncturists, just use auricular, which is in the ear, and do some points in the ear, and then hook it to electric stimulation for about 30 minutes. Now, I am more thorough. I will do other points that help the immune system, help the digestion. Also, people will get diarrhea and stomach upset, so it can affect the GI system. And so anybody that's going outdoors, hiking, fishing, um, that kind of thing, they say be sure and wear like long sleeves. And I think now going back with my grandfather, both my grandparents in farming back in the day, they always wore white long sleeve shirts when they were working out in the field, maybe khaki pants, but they always were covered to protect themselves from the heat of the sun. So what's crazy is I see people out mowing their lawn with no shirt on and shorts and flip flops on a lawnmower. Well, that's another good way to get your foot amputated or anything. If
Mm.
you have an accident going down a hill or something, and you have it rolls on you or something, you can get your foot caught in the lawnmower. But
So
I had
let's look at some questions about alpha gal. So, uh, and I've heard that getting bitten by a tick can create an allergy to red meat. I'm blown away how fast it presents, because some people can get bitten by a tick and it could be a period of time until they're diagnosed potentially with Lyme disease. But this sounds like you said 6 hours after
three
being
to six,
bitten.
3 to 6 hours. Now, Lyme disease is a different disease.
Sure, sure. Yeah,
So
it's just
so
tick-borne. That's why I brought it up.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So it presents itself in a different way. This is, I guess, gotten to be real popular. More so, I want to say, in this last year or two, has it gotten to be so popular where there are these support groups and stuff on Facebook. But what I think is fascinating is how acupuncture, as easy as one or two treatments, can cure it
Wow. Wow. So
because
if
it's kicking in the immune system. So
ah,
on a blood test, they will look for this IgE antibody, and that's how they can tell. Okay, this is how yes, they confirm that you have it. And then there's also some skin prick tests that they have available. But uh, of course, anybody that does have this and they're trying to deal with it and be safe about it, they can also in the process uh, use poultry or fish or plant based food. They're also, uh, I had one lady that said she was getting a antihistamine now in Oklahoma, you got to realize this is where we had about 120 Indian tribes moved in the area, in the 1800s, and so a lot of people have quote unquote an Indian card, and they get free medical, and so she was getting this for a while and it worked. And then all of a sudden they quit doing it, but it would cost something like $5,000 a dose. And so she couldn't afford it. And so it got to where it's expensive. Like, I even have patients now complaining that insulin, some of the new diabetic medication that works so well, their insurance isn't paying for, and they're having to go back on insulin, which is paid for by insurance. But I've had, I'm kind of getting off subject, but um, I've had a friend that's in his mid 90s, and he was actually working as a sack boy at the grocery store just to afford his diabetic medicine.
well,
So that's just crazy what our pharmaceutical companies will have some medications that are real effective to be so expensive. But the thing is going back to
I mean, acupuncture is
this,
a lot cheaper than a lot of what we're
yeah,
talking about here, right?
right. So just going back to the fact that acupuncture can be the simplest, easiest, most cost effective treatment. And then again, if you are out hiking, fishing, swimming outdoors, just be sure you can do repellents, uh, and then always do your tick checks.
Sure.
Um, Now, my husband, since he is working outside a lot, uh, he'll completely do a tick check um, every night when he comes in. But it's seasonal. There's only a couple of months where they're really bad, and if you don't have a real severe winter to freeze them out, that's when they'll be more predominant. But this year, we saw a different kind of tick. Um, that was just the size of a pinhead on our horses in August. It was after the other Lone Star ticks had already disappeared, and it was a whole different breed of tick came out.
Wow.
But they're saying that this is more predominant with the Lone Star. And then some people, what's weird is some people will say, I didn't even get a tick bite at all that I know of. I wasn't even around ticks, so I don't even know how it happened.
Well,
So
even the
this,
here in the Northeast, same situation. It was really, really challenging this year. And heard from a lot of people that went on a hike and they would come back and like, I've got all this like rash on me, and then I see these dots, and it was they call it the nymph, which is the juvenile baby tick. So tiny, but you get enough of them on you, and it looks like you have a like an all-out
Rash.
rash going on there. Yeah, yeah, crazy.
So yeah, so it could be like I was seeing those tiny ones this year, like
Mm,
you're talking about on the
yeah,
horses.
yeah, and there
So,
was it's same thing up in this area too. Now with alpha gal, if you don't treat it, does it eventually go away? If you didn't treat it, just curious, how long might it you have that allergy to red meat?
I think it goes on. I have a lady that I know. She has had it for several years now. So she was probably one of the first I ever heard of it. And she was the one that was constantly going to the emergency room. That's when they were unsure on diagnosis on what the heck was wrong with her. And she had some allergy problems anyway. But she got to where she couldn't even stand the smell of food cooking.
Ooh.
She had a reaction of just the smell of food cooking. She couldn't be around, so her husband had to cook the food. I guess she had to stay outside. She couldn't go out to eat anymore. She couldn't come to my clinic anymore because we burned the moxibustion, the herb, the mugwort. And she said that smell, she would run in and give me a hug and then run out because of the smell she would have an allergic reaction to. So she was having a lot of different allergic reactions and then constantly going to the emergency room because it was causing an anaphylactic response with breathing and swallowing where her throat swelled up. And so it was kind of life threatening for her. But she still has it to this day. Now the thing is she sent me a picture. I sent her a picture of when we were together at a aviation event several years ago, and I saw her. She sent me pictures recently, and she was so gaunt and skinny. And I've heard people tell me that they've known of people that lose a lot of weight and then they get real dark circles under their eyes. And she didn't even look herself at all. So it was like death warmed over kind of deal. So I I did not realize that acupuncture was a solution until this year. So and then it's been working. And not only with me as a practitioner, but other practitioners on the support group seeing it, and then even having the demonstrating the pictures. So anyway, I'm just thrilled that there's an easy solution. It's just getting the word out to people that don't know about it that acupuncture can actually work. And even within one or two treatments, it doesn't have to be a long, drawn out process. But I'm
Amazing.
seeing people getting results right away. And so if you can um, get out of, so I had some before pictures I didn't I don't have with me, but I was shown by some of my patients the before pictures of where their whole chest was just solid red. But being poked with a hot poker all night doesn't sound like anything very fun. So there's a lot of suffering, and you wouldn't know about it. But
Uh, wow. And we all know ticks are not good. You want to protect yourself. You don't want to get bitten. I can't imagine. Do you say, did I hear you right, Teresa? Your husband has like 20 in a day on him?
yeah, if he's working outside, like say he mowed or he's I'm trying to think of some examples of him being outside. We're actually right now in the process of building an event center. I don't know if you've heard of these destination weddings. Are they popular up where you are?
Sure. Depends on, yeah, yeah, and also even around the country and world. Sure. So,
Yeah. So people have all these, uh, like a big building or barn, and they're having all kinds of different, whether they be wedding or say um, different life. What I want to say,
celebration of sorts.
celebration of life, or even say the Jewish. When they become of age, they'll have the bar mitzvah, or the Mexican girls have a big
Into Sarah.
celebration when they
Yeah.
yes, when they turn 15, and it's a big deal. And so there, these bridal planners, they are short on places to book these things.
Wow.
And then there's weekend planners where people are planning their wedding a lot sooner and not taking a whole year to do it. So a bridal planner is more of a whole year process, where a weekend planner is somebody you get pretty quick within a month or so to put a wedding on. Um, but there's a lot of different occasions people will have an event. But we have antique cars. And so a lot of people will pay extra for antique cars. It's a lot about a photo opportunity. And then also we have horses that they could ride up on or ride away on. And then I've actually heard of a couple that wanted to be brought in the bucket of a tractor.
Yeah. Cool.
So we I've been working on doing this event center, and people will pay up to like $10,000 for one day.
Are you saying event center where you live?
Yes,
Oh my
yes.
gosh, how
So
crazy is that? Wow.
well, it started out as a place for the finished antique cars. So we have a shop, but my husband was complaining it's so crowded he has to move all the finished cars out to work on restoring another car. So my dad, a lot of the World War II vets came back from World War II, and I'm sure there was a lot of rationing going back to World War One even.
Yeah.
And so a lot of these pre-World War One cars were left out in fields, out in barns, and these guys that went through the 30s, they could fix anything with a piece of baling wire. And so they came back from the war and saw these cars abandoned in fields and barns, and they said, "Hey," they'd go to the farmer and go, "Hey, you want me to haul this off for you?" And the farmer would go, "Sure." And so I grew up with my dad started in this region. It was called the Horseless Carriage Club, because basically these pre-World War One cars were horseless carriages with a motor on the front. So Henry Ford is the one that made these cars popular, and he wanted the average everyday person to be able to have a car, because before only the rich with the big Packards and the fancy cars could have a vehicle. Now we didn't have highways back then. We had these dirt rutted out roads from wagons and stuff. So he had to make sure that this car was worthy of being on dirt roads. And so he noticed in Germany, when they had these races, that the German cars did not bend up when they crashed. And he found out that it was palladium that they put in the metal to make the metal sturdy. So they would, so he wanted a car that wouldn't waffle around in these rutted roads. And so he actually bought a mountain of palladium down in South America to make these Model Ts. And he came up with the assembly line, and he got that idea from the slaughterhouses, the processing plants. And he was able to spit out a Model T within, I think, every 2 seconds. It got that fast. And then guess what the Japanese did? The Japanese took the same concept of assembly line, but they put it in a circle instead of a straight line. So you had to have half the amount of people putting parts on as the it went around the circle. So anyway, we've got off the subject, but
How do you
anyway,
even know this stuff? You are like a wealth of like random stuff, but also information pertinent to help us heal. Just amazing. You are. That's like I've learned so much in the last 30 minutes. I think all year. Unbelievable. TulsaPath.com is your website. You can help people virtually. Obviously, you have to be in Tulsa for acupuncture, but social
I do.
county.
I do have people travel outside and come in, like drive 2 hours to come in.
And I understand
Sometimes they
why,
have.
because you know your stuff and you get it done. And you sometimes you resort to some things that others may say, well, it's not very conventional, but yes, it works. Yes, it works. And you've shared a bunch of that too along the way. Amazing. Teresa, thank you for putting this on our radar about the tick situation, but also how acupuncture can support it. Appreciate you. Thank you
Yeah,
for being here
completely
today.
heal it. Yeah.
So
Okay.
cool.
Thank you. All
All right.
right. It was great.
We'll catch up
Okay.
soon.
Okay. All right. See you. Bye
Thanks.
bye.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.